Hi, my name is Marie, and I just had an anterior cervical discectomy, decompression, and fusion 5 weeks ago. I'm making this video because when I was looking for information on the same surgery before I had it, that I really couldn't find a lot of people's personal accounts and information on, how it was after the fact and things like that. And I just kind of want to share my experience so that people maybe feel a little more comfortable about getting the surgery. It is a big deal, and it's, it's been a long 5 weeks, but, I'm glad I got it, and, I just kind of want to go over what happened to me, so, hopefully it'll, make things easier on the next person. You can see right here, my scar, it's a couple inches long. I had, 5, 6, and 7 views, so the bottom portion of my neck. I had 2 discs removed that were herniated from a car accident about 3 years ago. I was driving home from work one day and someone ran a light, hit me, and it's pretty much changed my life. So I had to stop working out. I had to stop playing softball. I had started a co-ed softball team, and I ended up actually just coaching it instead of playing on it. It's definitely been something that has changed my life, and definitely for the worse. Looking back now, I wish I'd done this sooner. So, if you're suffering, definitely do something about it. Don't just, stand by and let your life pass you by, because it hasn't been worth it. I'm 28 years old. I tried to do everything I possibly could to avoid surgery. I tried everything from acupuncture, massage, physical therapy, chiropractic care, and the cervical epidurals, which are just like the epidurals you get when you're pregnant. It's just, and about to have a baby. It's just, different fluid that they actually inject into your spinal column through the back of your neck. So I got those. As far as relief goes, I had the most from the chiropractic care and from the epidurals. Unfortunately, the epidurals only lasted a couple of weeks as far as me being pain-free. My discs in the front were compressing my spinal cord, and they were also hanging out the left side, which was pressing on my nerve roots, which went down my arm and all the way into my hand. So I had significant nerve pain 24 hours a day for the last couple of years, all in my shoulders and down my arm. So it's definitely something that's not, worth living with. I tried several other medications, like oral medications, which really didn't do much, and they had a lot of side effects. So as far as what I want for my life, it's not to be on a certain medication for the next 60, 70 years. So I plan on living a long time. But just to share some things with you about what I went through and what they told me to expect. They didn't really go over everything with me, so hopefully this will help you. They did tell me that I was going to be in a cervical collar for 6 weeks, which is this. This is the front. It's got plastic on it, and then it's padded and lined on the inside. You have to wear it 24 hours a day for 6 weeks. At least that's what I had to do. It looks a lot worse than it is. It makes you feel really stiff, and you look really uncomfortable and stiff, but actually I found anyway that for the first couple of weeks I really didn't want to take it off, because when I did take it off, it almost felt like my head was, I don't want to say gonna fall off, but kind of in that sense. I mean, obviously it wasn't, but it just felt really hard to control and very weak, my neck muscles. What they do is they go in here through the front. It's actually a lot better and a much more successful procedure when they go through the front. It looks kind of gruesome when you think about it, but they part most of your muscles. They don't really have to cut too many muscles. I believe they just cut one large one on the side, They clamp it open, and then they begin to remove your discs, and then they put in a titanium plate, which is in the front of your neck, which stays there for the rest of your life, and then 2 screws in each vertebrae. So depending on, the number that you get fused, that's how many. I have 6 screws in my neck now and 3 vertebrae. That's pretty much what they told me to expect. They also told me to expect, severe sore throat when you wake up from surgery, because they put a breathing tube down your neck, and they also, clamp open your muscles and move your whole esophagus to the side. Personally, when I woke up, they had overemphasized it to me, like, oh my gosh, your throat's gonna hurt so bad, you might, lose your voice for a while, things like that. I don't think my throat hurt very badly at all, to be honest. But what I did notice, which they didn't tell me, was that the back of my neck was just in excruciating pain. I did not have a lot of pain in the front, and my shoulders were extremely swollen, and I was in a lot of pain that way. Which they didn't tell me, and was like that for a while. I had the nerve pain in my arm for several weeks after surgery. It's now finally going away. That's definitely something that I read a lot of people saying they wake up and they're pain-free and all this stuff. Well, don't expect that. It's not going to happen that way. It definitely gets worse before it gets better. And at week 5 now, I'm starting to finally feel better. So it's a long road. I'm still on pain medicine and things like that. So, don't expect to feel good when you wake up. And definitely the improvement does take time. So try to be patient and don't freak out. I definitely was freaking out. I had a lot of calls to the doctor wondering why I still had nerve pain and things like that, because nobody told me to expect it. So I'm trying to share that with you. It's really important. This is something that I didn't know that actually postponed my surgery. That is common knowledge to some and not to others. But you can't take anti-inflammatories or aspirin for at least 2 weeks before your surgery, and not for 4 months after. It thins your blood. It'll make you a bleeding risk during surgery, and after, it actually prevents the fusion, which is the bone growing in between the spaces where the discs were removed. It prevents that from fully happening and making things more complicated. You have 2 choices. You can get bone taken from your hip to be placed in between each vertebrae, or you can get cadaver bone. I personally chose to have the cadaver bone. Some people think that's weird. I don't. That's why they have it. And it's actually, a lot of people say it's more painful to get the bone removed from your hip than it is to actually have the neck surgery. So there's no point in my eyes in suffering any more than you have to. So I'd recommend that. I'm trying to think of anything else that I might have to say that was my experience. Definitely it's a slow process. It's nothing that you're going to get over quickly. I'm 28 and I feel like I'm pretty young, and my mind is going much faster than my body, so it's frustrating to sit home and just wait and wait and wait to heal. But it's definitely something that shouldn't be taken lightly, and you should definitely follow all your doctor's instructions. Some people supposedly do not have to wear cervical collars. Personally, I would recommend it, and if my surgeon had told me not to, I would ask them why not. I feel like you need it. I feel like it's helped me with the stabilization of my bone, and as well as just for comfort. You really do kind of feel like you need it for a couple weeks. Some people say they can return back to work after 2 weeks. I don't know who those people are. I definitely don't feel like I could have worked after 2 weeks. I'm just now feeling better after 5. So, definitely expect to not feel good for a while. That's pretty much my experience. I have to keep this video short, but if you have any questions or comments or anything that you want to ask me any further, I'd be happy to answer them, because I was really searching for something like that and someone to help me, and I couldn't find anything. real personal anyway. I read a lot of horror stories, which completely scared me, but I'm glad I did the surgery. I would do it again, and I definitely don't recommend suffering. So if you're in this position, don't wait the 3 years that I did and exhaust all your other resources before making the decision, because I do wish I had done this sooner. So anyway, like I said, message me if you have any questions. Otherwise, if you are going to get the surgery, I hope it goes well and good luck.